Under Trump, we will have no more wars, no more disruptions, and we will have prosperity and peace for all.
Donald Trump should be impeached and removed for this. All of his supporters should turn on him.
And just like that, we back. What it do, people? I'm back in the building, man. It's been a minute since I've seen y'all. How y'all doing out there? I hope everybody doing swell. As for me, I cannot complain myself. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, it's been a while since I've been back to this page. I was over on my other one doing that content, but it is vital that I get back to my folks here around this here time, because I don't know if you know, but apparently World War III has started. You dig what I'm saying?
Captain, we've been overrun. We're pulling back. Over. Captain, Lieutenant, where are you going to pull back to? They're all over the perimeter. Now you be advised, you will hold in place and you will fight. That means you, Lieutenant. Bravo 6 out.
Are you filming?
Yes, I'm filming.
Wow! Wow! I think we are dead.
فضای غبارآلوده استادیوم
Well, that may be, but what we're all forgetting is anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay. I want to go to war. Oh,
yeah, man, we got a lot to get to in this one, man. We're going to cover 3 topics. Since I've been gone so long, I'm going to cover 3 topics that pretty much all coincide with each other. You dig what I'm saying? We got a lot of smoke out here in the diaspora of the world, man, on this stage of politics. You dig what I'm saying? It's impossible to ignore and not to keep up with all the chaos that's going on, but if you've been busy, and not everyone spends their time throughout the day looking into these things, so that's what I'm here for, just like that, to bring it to y'all and let you know what's going on, man. Now again, like I said, we are in World War III, or the beginnings of it, as I would like to put it. You dig what I'm saying? Of course, I hope to not have to go into those things, but I say hope to not have to go into it because, but in a certain way of looking at it, I don't look to have to go. I don't see them instituting a draft. I was prior in the military, and I am an only child. And it was right on the cusp of 9/11 and going over there and making that happen. They stayed over there 20 years for them folks on some bullshit. But I found out that I do not qualify to go into war, and I was elated to hear about it.
There is one hell of a lot of difference in fighting in the rain and going to war in Vietnam.
And here I stand in front of you today. Or sit, as we should say. But yeah, man, we got a lot going on, bro. Like I said, man, on this page, you will never hear me tell you who to vote for. If you've got valid reasons that you voted for this, that, and the third, and you can articulate them, like I say all the time when I promote this page, I would love to have some debates and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I think these days a lot of people are regretting their vote.
well, that may be. But what we're all forgetting is anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay. I want to go to war. Oh.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
And so, yeah, Donald Trump looks, and man, I supported him this last year. I apologize for doing so. It was a bad calculation. At the time, it seemed like the right one. But he should be impeached and removed for this one, and not on some like not on some ridiculous Nancy Pelosi. Of course, the Congress will never do it because they're all a bunch of corrupt hacks.
This is the one thing they support. This is like
Donald Trump should be impeached and removed for this. All of his supporters should turn on him. It's the absolute betrayal of everything that he ran and campaigned on and everything that he stood for. And I will say, despite the fact that Donald Trump supporters have been labeled like a cult following, and that certainly is true for a percentage of his supporters, he is going to lose his coalition over this. I know I don't just speak for myself when I say there are a lot of us who simply will not go along with this.
On a particular side of this thing, and it's not because people are calling them out, and it's a good bit of that going on. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it goes overboard sometimes, but when you're so upset with people for doing the obvious wrong thing for the obvious wrong reasons, it's hard to be to put sugar on top of it. You dig what I'm saying? So. But I don't think that's why. I think what they're actually seeing out here in the world and what's going on, man, despite what they thought was going to go on, I don't know if they thought that. I don't think that they thought it was going to be as bad as it is now. I think that the doom porn that most people were reporting to them or relaying to them, I think they took this TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. They took that literally, like, as if that was like a new disease, a new sickness out here in the world. You dig what I'm saying? But it was just major cope. You know what I'm saying? Max cope, which is a term amongst us creators. You dig what I'm saying? Which just basically means, you know what I'm saying? You know what coping is, coping mechanisms. And they're just coming up with anything to keep themselves from having to own up to the fact that they are basically performing as imbeciles. You dig what I'm saying? And that's just basically the flat line of it. So it's a max cope. But people voice their opinions beforehand. You say what you will about either side, but elections are always like the lesser of two evils.
My opening statement, I promise to rid the world of those vile, miserable little smurfs.
It's not your turn.
We need to get back on track. Kylo Ren, please give your opening statement.
I will be elected. I will be your new president. And nothing will stand in our...
And I think that in large part, hook, line, and sinker, I think the majority of Americans went for the greater evil in this instance, and it is playing itself out, like I said. So now we got bombs dropping over Baghdad. I guess not exactly, but we back up to some antics over there, man. Now, again, depending on how deep you keep up with these things, man, there's been a groundswell of disappointment, which is a light term to use in the midst of what's going on now. So let's just kind of backtrack for those of you that, again, may not be well versed in these things. And I'm not an expert, but I keep up, I watch a lot.
No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
So back on October 7th of, was it 20? Let me not even, let me be as thorough as possible. I will type in, I ain't even in position to type correctly. Events of October 7th, 2023. I thought it was 2023. So, back on October 27th of 2023.
October 7th, Hamas launched the biggest ever terror attack on Israel. The Palestinian organization stormed through the security fence separating Gaza and Israel and killed over 1,000 people, wounded nearly 7,500, and took at least 250 people hostage. 1 year later, as people around the world pay tribute to those killed in the attack and stand with those still in captivity, we look back at the darkest day in Israel's history that shook the region and the world.
I've spoken on this before. I've said about there's a documentary called Pogroms on the one of the streaming websites that starts with a T, you dig what I'm saying? And it kind of illustrates, in stark illustration, I won't say kind of what happened over there, but the summary of it is that a surprise attack was launched by Hamas-led militants from the Gaza Strip. It was like a three-pronged attack, man. They came in by the air, by land, by sea. It was wild. Apparently there was a music festival going on, and again, a surprise attack, and they killed, I think, 1,300 Israelis. All right, now, so stemming from that, the Israeli government and the IDF and what have you, they launched into action in which they were justified in defending the wrongs committed against them, right? But since then, it's been over the top. You know, everybody been complaining about like you're just going above and beyond. Pretty much their stance, if you keep up with Piers Morgan, he has a lot of the Israeli spokespeople on his program. You dig what I'm saying? And they basically say, hey, shit, we trying to get all of them out of here, cuz.
אף אחד לא נגד החזרת החטופים, קודם כל בואו נבהיר את זה, כן? אנחנו בעד החזרת כולם, קודם כל להחזיר את כולם. מלחמה עם חמאס לא תיגמר, לא בשנה, לא בשנה. ראינו את הנבלות האלה, שמלווים את החטופים, לא מסוגלים להבטח אותם אפילו. אלה צריכים להיות מחוסלים. ביום שאחרי השבת כל החטופים הביתה, צריכים להמשיך את המלחמה, והיא תימשך. אין לי ספק שהיא תימשך. כי אי אפשר לחיות עם היצורים האלה לידינו.
שומעת פה מנגינה אחרת, כלומר, אתה אומר, אפשר ללכת לשלב השני, להחזיר את כל החטופים, ורק אחר כך לחדש את המלחמה, לא לפני השבת כל החטופים. כן.
לא, תראי, זה מנגינה שאני מנגן אותה הרבה בתקופה האחרונה, כן, תמיד שדובר על השבת חטופים ולקראת העסקה, ואני אמרתי, להחזיר את החטופים הביתה. אנחנו צריכים להיות הגיוניים, לא תמיד לדבר פוליטיקה. מה זאת אומרת? בגלל שיש אנשים שאומרים, לא, נגד העסקה. מה נגד העסקה? המלחמה תימשך 5-10 שנים עכשיו. אנחנו לא, הרי זה לא ייגמר פה, אין פה שלום עם אף אחד. מי נעשה שלום? עם חמאס? אפשר לעשות אותם הסכמים? אפשר גם לעבוד עליהם קצת, כן? אנחנו יהודים, רוצים להיות ישרים, עושים הסכמים. מה זה, שוויץ? לא. זה אזור רצועת עזה שתולה במחבלים. כל ילד שנולד עכשיו בדקה הזאת הוא מחבל מראש, איך שהוא נולד.
You dig what I'm saying? The children, it's so wild though, bro, because they will literally say, like, the children over there, though innocent, in most accounts, sure, you've got some child soldiers, I would imagine, but for the most part, these are just children of maybe war fighters or what have you. But, you know, you let the Israelis tell it, hey, those are terrorists in the making. If we don't eliminate them now, in another 5 years or so, there'll be the next round of attackers, and we'll look up and we'll go through this thing again. And, you know, that's tough, bro. That's a tough one to ride with. On one hand, yeah, Netanyahu and what have you would have a point when they say that, because I would imagine that, yeah, should things continue to exist in those parts of the world, you know what I'm saying? The living conditions and just the biases and the clash of ideologies, you know what I'm saying? As long as that exists, and Israelis are more financially stable, you dig? Because if you watch what's going on out here, they got very, very close ties with the United States as far as their financial arrangements and allyship. You dig what I'm saying? So as long as things stay the way they are, yeah, man, those people gonna keep being pissed off. And every handful of years, once they build up enough to mount some type of a counter offensive, if you could say that. yeah, they're gonna do it. That's pretty much all they have to live for over there. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a lot to look forward to in their religion, from what I understand. Violence is not only tolerated but encouraged and a part of their credo. And again, I don't want to go too deep into reading into them and figuring out what they own and say nothing that would be associated with any type of sympathies for them. But I'm just explaining this is just common sense. You know what I'm saying? And the fight that they have going on, man, like I don't know that I don't have a dog in any of those fights per se, but just on the outside looking in, yeah, it would make sense that every handful of years they gonna come back and try to get their lick back. You know what I'm saying? And on the back of that, like I said, Israelis are like, we trying to mop everybody out of here, cuz. Okay, that's one thing we were dealing with, and the world is trying to get in. They won't let journalists in. They won't let them report on what's really going on, and they say trust what we put out. And you know, it's obviously some things going on over there that's untoward, but you know, the people that do have the power in our government to maybe force their hands in these things seems to be, I guess you say, complicit in what's going on. Donald Trump has most certainly made, moves. He was supposed to end wars with, Ukraine, and within 24 hours, he was not supposed to start any new wars. But I don't know what you may call this then. And
under Trump, we will have no more wars, no more disruptions, and we will have prosperity and peace for all.
Tel Aviv getting rocked. You know what I'm saying? Many other spots, sources, and locations. Of course, we don't have. I've got a little app in there on my TV, and I will do that just to see what I can see. I've got an app that's got every television station, across the world on it. So I'll tune in for some of that news, man, and just see what it's looking like in real time. If there's some cameras out there, aside from the things I ran across online. But yeah, it's going down now. When it comes to Iran and the United States and their motivations to want to get in some conflict with them, that's they've been in the pot. They've been in the mix for years.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
Well, that may be, but what we're all forgetting is anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay. I want to go to war. Oh,
man, on the back of this oil thing, and I heard something about opium. Who knows how deep that rabbit hole goes? But from the very first Bush administration, you know what I mean. That part of the world has been in conflict with the United States. You know what I'm saying? And so the new stick now, at least about Iran, with this the people that's trying to spin it as a good thing. Like I heard, who is it? Clay Travis. I was riding around today, and I often click into a certain radio station and try to listen in to him. You dig what I'm saying? And I heard him say, because apparently they had just went and met with Donald Trump and the administration and a couple key officials, and I heard him say, yeah, they did a fabulous job of explaining to us their motivations for wanting for wanting some conflict with Iran and basically green lighting the bombings, the attack to get started. And I'm sitting here listening like masterful. What? You're on the radio saying to, I would guess millions of people that the administration just explained to you masterfully a plan to start a new war that you all swore that wouldn't happen under Donald Trump, and that we would be in 7 of them if the other side of the equation had won. And I again say, you say what you will, but for sure, you may not be a very smart individual, and obviously some of you aren't, but you're smart enough to know that both of the candidates, when you look up and see where we are today, it's no way that you could say that, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, it's no way. But here we are, man. And, the thing is, it's not America in the war just yet. You dig what I'm saying? But I've heard that it's already some troops over there. But, we have embassies and citizens and things like that over there. And we are one attack away that kills some American citizens. We're one attack away from having to respond in turn, and now we got troops on the ground.
Well, listen, there are 2 messages that are critical to be heard tonight. Number 1, America stands unequivocally with Israel. Period. The end. That is critically important. Israel is acting to defend herself against the existential threat of an Iranian nuclear weapon. But number 2, and this is equally important, look, we have a very large number of American servicemen and women in bases in the Middle East that are in harm's way. And I want to ask every one of your listeners, every one of your viewers, if you're a person of faith, pray for Israel tonight. Pray for Israel, pray for Jerusalem, and pray for our servicemen and women, the Americans in harm's way. And a message that I think is critically important, I want the Ayatollah to hear. If you attack American military bases, if you kill even a single American serviceman or woman, I'm absolutely confident that President Trump will respond with overwhelming force.
One of your loved ones mess around and get the call to have to go to Iran and start a conflict from, if we go on with our prior experience, a conflict that lasted 20 years. I don't even know how many lives. The numbers that I look up probably are fudged, at least on the net. I don't know, because, we were there for 20 years, man. You got to understand. And those people never stopped trying to get their lick back. So, this is the territory we teetering on. Is this what you all voted for? You dig what I'm saying? Now, I spoke on, you've got the normal talking heads out here that, like I said, they're trying to spin it as a good thing. That Iran has always been teetering on the edge of nuclear proliferation, or, hiding the amount of nukes they got, and they're always ready to strike at a moment's notice and create world chaos and So this is the stick that they go to when they explain Iran. So they're trying to say it's a good thing. Israel apparently has been itching for it for years because I guess the logical conclusion to their angst outside of being attacked and all that, I guess they're basically saying, well, the Hamas militants and Houthis or what have you that spring up every handful of a couple of years and come over here with some smoke. They're funded and trained and radicalized, I guess, if you will, by Iran. It's all like a pipeline. So they've been itching to have a conflict with them. But see, the thing about it that makes everyone nervous is that while Israel may have the type of defenses to overcome those Hamas militants around that part, against a country like Iran, man, and with them being heavily focused on military and weapons and all that for years and years and years with their hatred for the United States, I don't think they got no smoke for Iran. So inevitably, bro, we're already helping them. You dig what I'm saying? If we were giving Ukraine untold, you can imagine what's going to Israel. But that's where we at, bro. That is where we at. World War III is on the brink. You dig what I'm saying? And now it's kind of strange to me as we slide into this second part of this thing. The timing about this here parade that Donald Trump had. You dig what I'm saying? He just had a parade apparently for his birthday.
If Donald Trump is president again, at some point or another, that ugliness will touch all of our lives. And it will not matter what you look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote. If you don't make 6 or 8 or 12 figures, if you're not famous, if you criticize or disagree with him in any way, if he doesn't view you as his equal or relevant to his ambitions, I promise you, he will not think about you when he gets in.
And as you can see, not many individuals showed up. Picked a horribly rainy day. It's pretty much been raining every day of the year for like the last 3 years or some shit, bro. You dig what I'm saying? But for me, it was a highly suspicious time. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you have a military funeral. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to instill a sense of camaraderie and loyalty at the same time to you and from the military to you and the military to you. Just kind of this circular process. And trying for the optics, I think, right here at this time to show and try and show that the military industrial complex is in lockstep with Donald Trump and his administration. But the ancestors, you dig what I'm saying? The ancestors, universe at large had different plans, man. And the sheen, the gloom, the non-gloss, you dig what I'm saying, that they put on this event, I think was highly indicative of the sentiment of the people of the United States, man, right now. You dig what I'm saying? So you can see it wasn't really, it wasn't a lot of people out there, especially in comparison to those No King protests. Yeah, man, no king protests around the country. 2,000 or so protests over this here one Saturday. About 1 million people, so I mean, out everywhere. You dig what I'm saying? No kings. Now, 2,000 individual protests put together. You've got to know that crowd is highly mixed of former supporters of this administration. You dig what I'm saying? And they went too hard, too fast, bro. Like you.
25 grand to the first cocksucker to nail a bullseye!
And it ceases to amaze me, man. They said power corrupts. You dig what I'm saying? And it's so wild. I guess it's just an inevitable process. But not all people that get put in places of power are just, you know what I'm saying, just go stupid over the side of the cliff out the gate like that. You know what I'm saying? It should tell you something about a person, man. Like. No restraint, you know what I'm saying? No restraint, man. But again, this is where we are. Like I say, man, no king protests all over the country, bro. Been going on the last handful of days. They come right on the back of these right here. And these are the riots out in LA. Mexican community went up, man. You know what I'm saying? They tired of being scared out here. They scared. They tired of being scared to go to work. They tired of being threatened. They say if you're gonna take us out of here, it's not gonna be without a fight. You dig what I'm saying? We out here. We turned up. We destroying cars. We're destroying the curb to get us some bricks. What's going on? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? That's what we at in our United States right now. Just look around, bro. LA riots. Protest against Donald Trump and his administration across the country. At the same time, Israel, that was already committing what some would say a genocide, are now in the first couple of days of, I guess, what you would call a conflict. Is it a war yet? I think it's World War III on the beginning. But it may be a quiet. Who knows, man? Who knows how it's going to happen, bro? You may wake up to an alert. You dig what I'm saying? Like, who knows? But this is where we are, and I don't think anybody bargained on this, man. I don't think anybody voted with these type of things in mind for where we were headed. But to say that you're surprised on a certain side of the fence, if you are, you're a fool. It was sort of easy to see a lot of these things coming, man. You know, people just operate on a certain. And I'm not in I'm not in a tax bracket, man, to care about any kind of tax cuts. I have a child of the female variety. I don't want her to lose to a guy in the sports that she plays, but until I look up and there's a guy that she's competing against and is to a point to where it's unnecessary, I can't have a problem with that, man. You know what I'm saying? I work in and around the healthcare field. I understand how much it takes when your body stops to function properly. You dig what I'm saying? There's not many individuals that can pay medical bills straight out their pocket. So when I just look at things from a real life perspective, man, it just leads me to understand, you know, which way to give my support, bro. So I believe in my heart, and I think everyone else does, that had things taken another turn, that we wouldn't be where we are right now. We're really at a precarious position, man. You know what I'm saying? Now we're the United States of America when it comes to military and fighting battles and world power. That won't change. Ain't nobody gonna whip our ass in the fight. You know what I'm saying? But we don't need that, bro. We don't need that. But it appears that we are close. Very close to having that out new existence for who knows how long and what'll happen in between then, man. But everybody stay tuned, bro. Keep your head up. Keep your ears open. Nose to the road, as they say. But as the development come, man, I will put another show together and come to my folks. But until then, been just like that. I'm out.